Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Big Lair here on Jack's Private Coffee Corner. Today I'm spending some time on going through my book, Emails from a Ninja, My Japanese Father-in-Law's Secret Life. And I'm in chapter 1 here, and this is going to be email number 4 from chapter 1. I don't know if some of you have already gotten the book. There's an ebook and a paperback book. And I'm not sure how the ebooks work as far as pages go. They normally don't use pages. They use a different system. So I'm chapter 1, email 4. And email 4 is February 7th, 2011. Okay, let's get into this. This is kind of I would call this a juicy email. It's got a nice story to it. If you're a martial artist or enjoy, martial arts stories, or if you just enjoy stories about the good guys winning one, I think you might like this story. Okay, here we go. So email 4. Dear Larry, thank you for the photos of your apartment and furniture. I enjoyed your story about the Indian furniture salesman who tried to cheat you. I would imagine they see you, an American, and your wife, a Japanese, as savory targets. Your skin color opened many doors for you in Japan, and now you are finding some of the disadvantages, i.e., white skin equals having money. I am sure you will keep a close eye on everyone in Malaysia from now on, now that you know how willing some Malaysians are to cheat you. Possibly, wherever you go in the world, there will be people who will see you as a target, or, should I say, an opportunity for them to get money by cheating you in some way. That's very interesting and very good for you, as you will now be forced to hone yourself in a way that you had not expected. Keeping oneself as sharp as a razor's edge has many facets, and you will now learn a facet that even I do not have. I recently found out that an old friend passed away. He had taught me many weapons when I was a young man. He was a master at pressure points, and even the slightest touch by him could cause extreme pain or temporary paralysis. He also knew what points could bring pleasure, and he was famous among the prostitutes in certain areas of Tokyo. He once told me that a woman... let me say that over. He once told me that the women would pay him for sex. He took me to a geisha house once, and we were graciously waited on by almost all of the staff. In fact, so many of the girls wanted to meet him due to his reputation that the other customers complained that we were hogging all of the girls. One customer was a well-known gangster who took offense at the girls coming to our room. In fact, when the geisha returned to his room, he hit one of them. This was bad for many reasons, but my teacher decided to settle things himself. He stood up and asked me how much money I wanted. I looked at him dumbfounded because I could not grasp why he was asking me how much money I wanted at a time like this. He asked again, quote, "How much money would you like?" unquote. My blank expression caused him to laugh, and he replied, quote, "You need a whole new wardrobe and several pairs of shoes. I think 200,000 yen, around $550 in those days, will take care of it," unquote. He walked out of the room and closed the door. I heard some loud voices and then what sounded like a couple of people crashing into a wall. Then I heard some muffled voices and finally a loud, quote, "Thank you very much," unquote. My friend entered the room with 200,000 yen in his hand, which he gave to me. He sat down and a geisha quickly poured him a cup of green tea. He took one sip and said, quote, "Ah, that's good tea. Now, what were we talking about?" unquote. I sat there with the money in my hand, thinking that is almost a year's worth of wages for me. He was my teacher and my friend, and as you can guess, he was very generous. I will miss him dearly. If there was a Japanese version of Clint Eastwood or John Wayne, my friend would have been that guy. I can see that I have used all my time writing that short anecdote. I have to get ready for my dance class, as I have some new students coming today. Continue to enjoy life. Take care. Your father. Okay, that's a pretty awesome story. Oh man, can you imagine that? You know, in Japan, in those days especially, well, even now, if you were somewhere and like a gangster walked in, just the whole place would get quiet and people would be, you know, cowering in their seats. Nobody would like stand up and challenge these guys, let alone, you know, challenge them and then beat the crap out of them and force them to pay you. So this guy, you know, he had you know, pretty big cojones, right? Well, obviously he was very confident in his abilities, and he wasn't letting anyone mess around with him or showing disrespect to the people he liked, which is a good character trait to have, I think. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that one. You guys take care.